What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ford Mustang episode, I don't know, 1, maybe? We won't count the intro. Welcome to Jake's Garage. We're going to start working on this 1968 standard Mustang that we picked up, I don't know, a few weeks ago now. So, not much has happened since I filmed the intro video. However, I did clean the car. I gave it like a real quick bath. You're gonna have a hard time seeing in this video, but it cleaned up really well. It has patina. We're gonna keep using that word. You know, that's just a weird little spot. It's just not really like rust, but it's rust. You know what I'm saying. But the paint, for the most part, did clean up pretty darn nice. I think I got to decide whether I want to use some compound and kind of rub the paint out some, or if I want to just leave it in its dull form here. But you'll see that the wheels are off. We'll get into that in a second. The interior, I did clean, I cleaned the glass. The glass was awful. So it's all cleaned up. I did clean the interior up some. Not that it needed a whole lot, but vacuumed the carpet and cleaned the mats and stuff, and you know, it cleaned up okay. There's chrome missing from the bezels. I don't even think I'm gonna fix that, to be honest with you. It's too honest of a car. I'm not gonna mess with it. I did mention in the video I'll be doing the top. Don't pay attention to that stuff. That's actually for the Suburban. So what we're doing right now, I'm in the middle of figuring out brakes. Now this sucker has 4-wheel manual drum brakes. Any of you watching have ever driven a car with 4-wheel manual drum brakes will know that it doesn't stop like a Cadillac. You got to use all of your leg. I'm 6'4", 215, have pretty decent leg muscles, and it takes me some effort to stop this thing. So my wife is going to have trouble. We did take it around the block, and you kind of got to think ahead on when you want to stop. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just pulling off the drums, front and back, side to side, just to make sure there's nothing wrong. I understand what we're dealing with. It's a 4-wheel manual drum brake car. I understand it's not going to stop on a dime, but I want to give it the best chance that I can. So I wanted to check to make sure that the pads were in good shape, make sure the hardware was in good shape, make sure that none of the master cylinders were leaking. Check out the suspension components. I believe I'm going to change the ball joints. This one's got some clickety-clack going on, and I think the other side does too. The strut rod bushings, I'm going to change those. Anything that looks like it's like really, really busted, worn out, I might go ahead and change. I wanted to make sure nothing was leaking, you know, clean this thing up a little bit, replace anything I feel like is a safety issue. What I'm finding is stuff that really does not look that old. So I think somebody's been in here at some point. I mean, it'd be silly for me to think the brakes have never been changed on a 50-some-year-old car. So I don't know, though. I don't know. It's got 40,000 miles on it. I'm assuming the brakes would be worn by now and changed out. So everything looks fine here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bleed the brakes. That's going to be my last step in determining whether or not this thing's going to live as a manual brake car. Plan is to either put power brake booster in and make it 4-wheel power drum brakes, or swap out the power discs. I'm leaning towards power discs. It's about over twice the cost of just changing this to a power boosted drums. Power drums, man, I can't talk right. But I think it'll be worth it, especially with my wife driving the car. She won't have to worry about the puddles and stuff, going through a puddle and losing the drum brakes. Okay, so we talked about the brakes. One of the other projects I'm going to do today, I think I'm going to rebuild the carb. That is a Autolite 2100 2-barrel carburetor. Pretty simple. It seems to work okay. It'll start and idle perfect, and it'll putz down the road fine. But any quick throttle you try to give it, or if you like floor it and let off real quick, it'll die. So I'm guessing the power valve or the accelerator pump diaphragm probably needs a rebuild. So we're just going to freshen that up. I just got the this Walker kit here, 15369D. It's a pretty popular kit. I also got a new fuel filter. Fuel filter on these guys is right up in the right at the end of the line. It screws right into the carburetor body. But that's where we're at. I'm probably just going to set you up and let you I'm not doing anything with the brakes right now because I just don't. I need somebody here to do the pumping. Okay, I'll tell you what. Since there are lots of good videos online on how to rebuild these things, I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing. I might just kick you on and off to show you anything that I find that is like, you know, interesting. Not like these dead stink bugs that I just found chilling behind my choke housing. But let me get this thing apart a little bit. I don't really know what I'm doing either, so it's just kind of me fumbling through it. But I'll show you what I get once I get it all apart and get the parts spread out. I'll show you what kind of condition we were in. Okay, got it all apart. Overall, not too bad. It's easy carb to take apart, but here's a look inside. Not awful. There's some crud down in there, down around the power valve. Jet areas look okay. The fuel inlet seat, the needle seat and everything looked okay. I pulled it out anyways. That's all clean. There's some grime here and there, but otherwise it's okay. The accelerator pump diaphragm looked like it had seen better days. It was kind of goopy looking, so maybe that was part of my problem. And then the power valve, I don't exactly know what this is supposed to look like, so whatever, we're going to replace it. And the carbs that I have pulled apart, by the way, hasn't been a Ford style carburetor. It's been you know, the Carter FB, something like that. There's also down in the accelerator pump diaphragm housing area, there is some corrosion there, some nasty stuff. One thing I'm not sure of, I'll have to look up online. So I counted my screws. I took my mixture screws out. I guess those are air bleeds. I took them out because I wanted to clean the passages, and I counted, and I got 3 1/4 turn on one side and 2 3/4 on the other side, which I was found kind of weird that they'd be different, but I've seen that before as well. What I'm not sure, 100% sure of, is how to set this up initially. So weird thing is when the choke cam is completely off of the throttle and the throttle is allowed to completely close, the throttle doesn't actually close to the point of touching this throttle stop screw here. I think that's what that is, like an idle adjustment. It doesn't actually touch that, and I don't know if that's right or not. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to just put it back together, but I'm going to have to look up what information on initial settings. I think I should probably make sure that my initial settings on this thing are still good. I don't know if anybody's ever been in here or not. I'll tell you what, there's so many little screws and adjustments on this choke mechanism. I don't remember my old choke being like this either. There was just a simple cam on that one. This one has like a couple linkages on it, and I'm just not too sure of myself, so I'll have to look that up. But for the most part, all I'm going to do is clean this thing up as best I can with some carb cleaner and like toothbrushes and little wire brushes and stuff, and then wipe it down. And then whatever's in that kit that's brand new, I'll stick in. Anything that I have to reuse, I'll clean really well and stick that back together. And yeah, we'll see if we can get this thing running a little more like I want it to. It ran good. It just didn't want to take fuel. One of the things I've seen before are these tubes get cracked. So I'll have to check those out real good. Clean those suckers out. But yeah, overall not too bad. We'll see what it looks like once I mean, these are the jets are clean as a whistle. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to start cleaning everything up, soaking things in some carb cleaner, and see what's in that kit, and then I'll start putting it back together. Okay, so I got it back together. I didn't do anything special. I just cleaned it up. New power valve, new accelerated pump diaphragm. I put the screws back pretty much where I think they were. I'm not going to do an initial setting. I'm just going to start off where I left off here. I can always reset the screws once it's back together if I think it needs to run differently. All right, massive technical difficulties. Massive meaning my freaking card filled up. So what I was saying over there basically is I'm done rebuilding the carb. Yep, I just did a quick freshen up on it. The only thing I have to do left is I guess this is supposed to be zip tied in place, but I'm not sure why. This little metal clip thing kind of holds it pretty darn tight. I don't know what we're zip tying here. I guess this one to that one. I don't know, but I got to zip tie that. Otherwise, everything else should be hooked. Anyway, we're gonna fire it up. I hope, as long as I did everything right and gas doesn't pee everywhere. Let's see what happens. Okie dokie. Got to get her spinning a little bit first. Oh, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. I'd say there's two things going on. One, it's pissing fuel out of the fuel filter connection. And two, that idle seemed really high. Super high. So let me tighten up this fitting real quick and see if I got a vacuum leak. Okay. I guess the filter was way too loose. Let's try it again. Sounds like it's running pretty good. It's not leaking fuel anymore. Give it a minute. Sounds like it might have a little bit of a miss actually. Haven't run it in about a week or two, so maybe it just needs to warm up. I don't know. Let's let it warm up. I'll cut you back on. So it's pretty much idling happily now. Choke's wide open. I don't think I need to mess with the choke settings too much. I mean, it opened up after only a minute or two of running. What it is doing, it seems to be, I don't know if it's misfiring or if it's just 1968 engine idling away. Seems to have a little bit of a rough idle. Not unstable, but it's definitely rougher than I think it should be. I will say this though, it is taking throttle much better. I can snap it wide open. It sounds extremely healthy now. It's like a whole different engine. I'm guessing that between the accelerator pump and the power valve, it just was sucking it up. See how it hot starts. Can't ask for much more than that. Beautiful. All right, well, that's about all I have time for today. I picked up seals for the wheels. Other than that, there's not a whole lot much more I can do. The other thing I need to do is get tires before we can drive it again. I don't trust those suckers. And if it's running as good as I think it is now, those back tires are definitely getting smoked. So stay tuned. We'll pick this thing up. I don't know, whatever I end up doing next to it. This is kind of a slow as we go kind of project. I'm in no hurry, so we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.